Hey guys, it's Tom. It's 7:07 on the East Coast. We just started the semifinal here between Ed, the Commissioner Ed, his San Francisco Giants, and Joe Golden's New Jersey, no, San Francisco Giants, San Francisco 49ers, and Joe Golden's New York Giants. I think Ed was 11-4-1, and Joe was 12-4 or 14-2, something like that. I don't have the records in front of me. I've got the league playoff file up. They kicked off before I joined, and we're about 2 minutes in. Joe was 14-2. Ed was 13-3. It's the other league in which Ed was 14-2, and actually Ed lost to Joe 17-14 in the regular season. Thank you, Dennis, for punching that in there in the game. So they started before I came in. It looks like Ed got the ball first. He's already up around midfield. We're 2.5 minutes in. 1st and 10 for the 49ers at their own 47. Tyrod Taylor's their quarterback. He's going blocking back with the pistol formation. Long pass to Travis Benjamin. One-on-one coverage against a corner 5. Joe's double teaming elsewhere. And it's a dump-off chance with an interception split of 2-3. That's incomplete. And I should bring up my animation, which I like to use only when I'm broadcasting. Otherwise, I find it rather detestable because it slows down the game needlessly. And, you know, the graphics were okay in the beginning, but you quickly get used to them. Although they're always entertaining on the field goals, you know, especially the missed field goals. There were no closely missed field goals in the graphics in Strat-O-Matic football. They're wide by about 20 yards, or they're short by about 15 yards. 2nd and 10 for Ed at his own 47. Winner makes the Super Bowl against Kurt Retzlaff's upstart Denver Broncos, I believe. Off tackle right, Frank Gore. Defense gets his pass, double teaming Gronk. No linebackers there. Joe plays a 3-4, and he pops an 11-yard gain. 11-yard gain on Joe's card, giving him a 1st and 10 at the Giant 42. So it's an interesting offense. I mean, Taylor's an interesting quarterback. He's highly rated in this set by people like Ed and me who spent some time doing these rankings. But it's, you know, it's a different type of card. It's a low turnover card. It's a very fine flat pass card. He's got a good short pass right column because the must runs are so dangerous. But the long pass wrong and probably the short pass wrong aren't what you'd normally expect from someone maybe rated in the top 5 or 6 of the set. I could be wrong about that on the short pass, but I don't think so. I'm going from memory. So it's a different type of card to play with. The user dropped. I hope it's not one of our guests. One of our, players here. Hopefully I didn't lose internet. That'll be unfortunate. Let me make sure we're still good here. As Dennis joined me. Dennis has his mic muted. You don't have to mute if you don't want to, Dennis, or you can either way. I'm going to check and see if the game is still going. Spell it off. Guys, come. Are we good? Question mark. Microphone off. I should have known it. Perhaps I dropped. But so there, yeah. So this drive is continuing. Could be a big drive. Could be Ed going for an opening touchdown. But I'm missing it right now. So let's try and get back in there quickly. Ed was calling plays a little slower than he usually does. It looks like the game is still not up. So it was probably not me. Well, my internet is good. I don't think Ed's on NFL on AIM. when he gets ready to play. So I'm not really getting a thumbs up from anybody. I don't remember. I know I played Joe in another league. I don't remember if he told me that he's been having some connection problems. Someone told me they're having some connection problems. I know Ed likes to do the lobby thing. I don't see Joe on AIM. But maybe they're not using it. Hey, Dennis, you can hear me. Message me or something. Here in the Hangout or in AIM. Oh, there we go. Looks like the game is up. Okay, but it did not miss much action. Looks like maybe we only missed one play, so they must have had a disconnect in their end. But it's 2nd down and 3 now for Ed at Joe's 35-yard line. And Ed's been going blocking back, halfback with a pistol formation. Short pass to Gronk. Defense calls run. 4 men in zone, though. And Joe's got the good defensive cards, thanks to the home field advantage. And receiver gets wrong at 16 yards and a big first down for the NFL's best tight end. Gronk getting it down to the 19. You see that card? It's not a tight end card. 7 only incomplete. 5 units of long gain. I mean, that's an excellent receiving card. NFL with so much of the quick hitting passing. Although the averages seemed a little higher there in the 2016 season. Travis Benjamin, defense calls run. Dennis says I'm not sharing my screen. That's right, I'm not, Dennis. What happened there? Because I was sharing it before. But I'll get on that right now. Thank you, Dennis. Maybe because I clicked the hide thing here. Oh, I have to click stop sharing instead of the other thing. Thanks a lot for that, Dennis. Very helpful. 2nd down and 10. We have an M run left for Tyrod Taylor. Design play. Gained only 3, as Joe called run correctly. Otherwise, that probably would have been something nice. No, it would have also been +3. So Taylor's never rolling that bad for a running quarterback, but not as sensational as 16. 3rd and 7 for Ed. He's at the Giants 16. Here's what Taylor's running will come into play. Possibly the must run. Joe's got a real good secondary. We're playing a little catch up here. We're about 5.5 minutes into the first quarter. This is the opening possession for the 49ers. Haven't had a chance to review Joe's defense. Short pass, Doug Baldwin. Defense double teaming elsewhere. 4-minute zone. Baldwin covered by 6. Ed's got good pass blocking. I know. I don't think there's much rush. Probably coming in as 3. And there's that must run. 11 yards on a first down. See, when you face a guy like Taylor, I mean, 2-5, getting only 9 units of completion. Oh, great. No big deal. But hello, 15 units of must run. And 2-6 is 11 yards or more. 2-7 is 9 yards or more. I mean, those are pretty much first down plays. Especially if it's anything less than 10 yards to go. So you'll have to get, 3rd and 9 or less with Tyrod Taylor as a quarterback. And 21 out of 36 of these must runs will get you a first down. That's pretty good. So you get 1st and goal for the Niners at the Giant 5. Ed goes full house. Antonio Andrews checks in as the 3rd running back. Ed likes to run the ball. He's got a 4 at right guard in there now. I think his center's only a 4 on this team. He is, but that's still 6'5". Linebacker Frank Gore. Joe's got 2 men in the zone. I'm not sure what his linebacker defense is. We're going to find out here. Linebacker in zone -1 or +3. Puts a 3-yard gain. Gerard Holder-Mayo is only a white die 4. And the other inside linebacker is Deion Buchanan. Even though it's spelled Buchanan, who's a 54. So you got 44-54. So Ed's going to pound up the middle almost certainly, because almost anything on the defensive cards is good here. Linebacker Frank Gore, 2nd and goal for the 2. We're almost midway through the first quarter. Right guard +4, +0. And Hugh Thornton, rather, thanks to the bump up, is a 5. And Ed's got a 2-yard touchdown to take a 6-0 lead. Dan Bailey comes on for the extra point. And it's up and good. So 7-0 Niners on their opening possession. And these two teams played a defensive game the first time around, so that's a big opening salvo for the 49ers. The kick was down to the 1 yard line for Griff Whalen. We have a long gain on 12 on the opponent kick return coming off of Ed's team. And Snake Eyes is plus 50. Otherwise, not a lot there. A lot of 20, 21-yard type gains for Mr. Whalen. Off tackle left for Le'Veon Bell on Joe Golden's first possession. 10 gets wrong is a big 21-yard gain. Now, Joe's got the interesting combo here. He's got Brandon Whedon at quarterback, who's very good flat pass, who's pretty good short pass with some good must runs to right. Can't do much deep. Guessed wrong, certainly. But he's got Allen Robinson and John Brown at receiver. Off tackle right, Le'Veon Bell. Le'Veon Bell's a running back. As you hear me call his name on back-to-back plays, that's an offensive onside tackle, 803, and Joe Reitz, the right tackle 4, makes the play. You've got Austin Seferian-Jenkins and Gary Barnes at the tight end. Now the backup CJ2K, Chris Johnson, checks in to save some carries for Bell on short yardage. And you see a good-looking line. You look at the interior, 6'5", and the Bell covering the linebacker, off tackle right for Chris Johnson. Defense calls pass, one linebacker there. Ed's 5'6" on the DL. And it's only a 1 yard gain on wrong for Johnson. Also has almost no fumble, 3.0. And Whedon is 1.3 on the snap fumble. So a good turnover, a good protecting of the ball by the Giants here. And we've got a 3rd and 1 for New York / New Jersey at the San Francisco 49. Le'Veon Bell back in. A Joe goes shotgun. All right, I want to do that to Ed because he knows you can only run a linebacker, and I don't think you're mentally tricking him into thinking that you won't run it. Now, Ed's inside linebackers are both only a 4. Joe's got a 6'5" here. And you might feel better about run keying against Brandon Whedon because he's not very good deep. He's terrible with the long pass wrong. Even though Joe has good receivers like Allen Robinson, who's maxed out at it. Then again, Ed's up by a touchdown. Ed doesn't like to play it too risky. His safety's only a 4, however. So even if you keep him back there, he might not make the play, but that's not going to be a long gain. It's going to be a 29-yarder or something like that. Ed's really making up his mind of what to do here. Short pass to Austin Seferian-Jenkins. Defense calls pass. Nobody there. Receiver gets right, is incomplete. And Joe's going to face a 4th and 1 at San Fran's 49 here in the semifinals. Is he going to go for it, or is he going to punt it? He's going to go for it, which is the right play, I think. I know people are looking on going, Joe, it's a semifinal. What if you fail? But that's maybe playing to lose. 4th and 1. You need 1 yard. You got all these weapons. Brandon Whedon's good flat pass. You got some pretty good blocking. Ed's right outside linebacker because I wouldn't mind running an off tackle. And he's a 5, 45. Both Ed's outside linebackers are 45s. I don't know. Maybe I'll punt it. I think I'd be too afraid. Looking past the John Brown defense called short yardage. And it's a short gain on Brandon Whedon's card of the 20-yard variety. Not so short there on a Snake Eyes. I wonder if Strat will ever change the language from short gain to first down yardage or something. Might be blasphemous, but 15 yards is not a short gain in football terms. 1st and 10 for the Giants. And left tackle right to Le'Veon Bell, offensive onside end. Gary Barnage, a 4 and a 4, makes the play. So Joe's been getting some favorable blocking from his 4s. And, of course, he converted the 4th and 1, guessed wrong. And now you've got 2nd and 5 at the San Francisco 24. Joe looking to tie the game up on this drive. Chris Johnson checks back in. Off tackle left to Chris Johnson, run key with 2 men in zone, and he's hit for a -2. Still only a 9.0 fumble chance, which is the best you can have. Would have been -1, guess right, but Ed's saying, I don't mind bringing my safety up against Brandon Whedon. And Joe has not really been throwing flats except on that 3rd and 1, possibly because Ed's sitting in that 3-4, and you know how much easier it is to flood flats. Haven't seen much of the short pass out of Joe here, though, which is a good counter to that. If a guy wants to bring his safety up into the flats and, He's going to do that to you. Nothing wrong with throwing some short passes over the linebackers' heads. Some guys think they're being cute, bring that safety up and call run. Get some short pass wrongs to Al Robinson, covered by a 5. Gary Barnage covered by a 4. Loosen that up right up. 3 wide, 1 halfback, shotgun formation. And it's a flat pass left to Robinson. Ed playing dime. Linebacker's only a 4. And receiver gets right is incomplete. Looks like there was a linebacker double team on there. Or he had someone else double teamed. Look at that. I thought Robinson was double teamed. But Phil Dawson comes out for the 43-yard extra point attempt, 2 to 8 and 12, and it's good. So Joe has to settle for the field goal and is down 7-3, but I'm sure he feels good to at least get on the board. And now he'll play some defense. But Ed was playing a little bit for the run in the second half of that possession. Joe's got to mix in some of those short passes with Whedon, which I think is effective with his must run right. And you got good receivers. Linebacker Frank Gore. Defense gets the pass. 1 linebacker in the zone. And it's a 5-yard gain for Gore. Who has 6 carries already for 28 yards. As we close in near the end of the first quarter, there's still 2:42 to go. Linebacker Frank Gore, defense calls pass. No linebackers there. And it's a 6 short gain on Gore's guard, 14 yards. Ed likes to run the ball. You know, if you're going to have a scouting report playing against Ed, you really don't want to concede the run. Because he's happy to run the ball 50 times if he needs to. And usually he has enough guys to do that with. There's a short pass to Gronk on the play action. Joe calls run this time. And receiver gets wrong, 18 yards. We've had 2 short pass receiver wrongs on Gronk's card that were complete for good yardage. The other one was for 16 yards. So Ed doing enough to mix it up now. Keeping Joe off balance. And here's a short pass to Doug Baldwin. This time 4 in there end zone, but Joe again gets his run. So Joe's not trying to concede the run, but he's doing it at the wrong time. Receiver gets wrong, 18 yards for Baldwin, who's also maxed. To get max receivers on a short pass wrong, that feels pretty nice for the offense, even with 4 men in zone, with all the extra receiver readings, and you got your quarterback's card as well. So 1st and 10 from the, and these guys have good averages. Look at this. These aren't 10, 11-yard, 11-yard gains. Flat pass left to Bruce Miller. Defense calls run. There's a linebacker there. It's a 2-yard gain on the defense's card. Taylor 7 of 9 for 81 yards. Bruce Miller's 2nd catch of the day. 2nd and 8 for San Fran. 18 seconds to go here in the opening quarter. They lead the Giants 7-3, and they're driving for more. The winner makes the Super Bowl. These 2 Titans, 13-3 and 14-2. Long pass, Travis Benjamin. Defense calls run with no one there. He's covered by a 5. Ed's taking his time, slow clicking. Intercepted 2 to 5 and 12. 8 is incomplete. Even with a man back there, it would have been 2 to 7 against these good, or 2 to 7 and 12, perhaps, against these good pass defense cards. It is a straight 2 to 7 with a man out there. And it's 3rd and 8 as we start the second quarter. Ed leading 7-3. Joe wanting very much to force a field goal here. Keep it a 1-score game. Don't want to go down 14-3 against a coach like Ed. Looking past to Bruce Miller. There's a linebacker there, but he's only a 5. Miller's good receiving card, gets right. Ed needs 8 yards. Receiver gets right is 7 yards. So Miller, not as many completions as I thought, but the yardage is good. And you got 4th and 1 for Ed at Joe's 16. Dan Bailey's Ed's kicker, normally pretty good. You'd think this would be at least 2 to 9 and 12. I have him on one team, but I don't have it memorized. And he's going to try the field goal. 33-yard attempt is good. It was 2 to 10. And Ed takes the 10-3 lead. I like the choice to kick the field goal there. Take the safe points. Although you do miss these 2 to 10 sometimes. Here's a kickoff down to the 4-yard line for Taiwan Jones, who brings it back 25 yards. He's by far the better returner. The number 1 back for Joe, who's got Griff Whalen as the number 2. And you see there's a plus 70 on 2 and a long gain on 12. And some of the decent returns. Off tackle right for Le'Veon Bell. And they pops that 10 again. Gets wrong 21 yards in the first down. Bell has hit that off tackle 10 twice now in the early going. He only has 4 carries. And consequently, they offer 55 yards. Le'Veon only has 10 more carries until he's fatigued, though. A short bet to Gary Barnidge. Defense double teaming elsewhere. 8 is incomplete of Whedon's card. Whedon has a better must run than you would think, unless you looked at his card or used him. Everything is like 7 yards or more, going all the way down to like 2 to 10 or something like that. And he's got 11 straight units of completion, so the must runs are really where that card gets bumped up. Emma right to Le'Veon Bell. Defense calls run at 2nd and 10. Bell loses 2. Good call by Ed. And I like Bell's off tackle, maybe better than his Ed run, but you got to mix it up. You can't run the same type of play every time. Otherwise, the guy will pop somebody up there. And, of course, from Joe's formation, you have to cover Bell in the passing game, so you figure that left end spot is not going to have a linebacker on it. 3rd and 12 for Joe now at his own 48. Ed goes dime 3-2-6, which is what he did last time Joe was in a passing situation. Duke Johnson checks at the halfback. Long pass to John Brown with nobody there, but it's a dump off only for 3 yards on Whedon's card. The sack chance was a 0 on a 0, which was a 0% chance of getting a sack. And the punt goes a coffin corner, but not a good one. Only 26 yards. Would have been a straight 36-yarder. That's Kevin Huber doing the punting. 1st and 10 for the Niners at their own 23. They lead 10-3 early second quarter. Now, Kirk Retzlaff's got a pretty decent team, but he only went 10-6. I know he's a good coach. But long pass, Rob Gronkowski. Defense goes wrong, but nobody there. Gronk coming by 5. I think he's 12-18 deep. What can we get here? There's a receiver gets wrong. And Rob Gronkowski across midfield down to the 40, the 30, the 20. Down to the Giant 25-yard line, a 52-yard completion on a long pass wrong. Joe not respecting the long pass game of Ed's 49ers and Tyrod Taylor. I wouldn't have mattered because 6 is a receiver anyway. But would it have been a complete guess right? Plus 52, I bet. Not on a 9? No, would have been incomplete. But, again, we just said he had to respect the run game. Long pass, Travis Benjamin gets wrong. Joe doing it again. And Ed says, let me make it 2 in a row in this guy. Long pass wrong, no men. And 4 on Taylor's cards, a long gain touchdown. Only 7 units complete on that column. And Ed takes a huge 16-3 lead. It might be about to be 17-3. And it is 2-12 for Bailey, barring the block. And a 2-play 78-yard drive. That's how you want to do it. Ed takes a commanding 17-3 lead. He only scored 14 points than they played in the regular season. So Joe giving the long pass wrong, no man. Always dangerous. Always dangerous. And the kick is down to the 4-yard line. Joe returned to 27 yards. Now let's see if Joe can engineer some kind of comeback here. And he brings in the CJ2K because you figure Ed's going to call pass more with a 2-touchdown lead. Let me save Bell's carries for the second half. If he's unlimited in the second half, I don't know that he is because he was using, I don't know how many carries he had last year. So save him for when you get closer. Let me run this guy get strong for a while. Maybe some draws on the off tackle left. I don't know what TJ's linebacker card looks like. He used to not have a good one, but I thought I remember this year's not being too bad. We've got a short pass, John Brown. Defense double teaming elsewhere. Receiver gets right 13 yards. Looks like Ed was blitzing almost everybody that time, but no D reading. But it's 1st and 10 for the Giants, now at their own 44. Giants sure would like to drive down the field and get some points on this possession. Of course, preferably a touchdown. They do get the ball to start the second half, but as we have a user dropping, I hope that's not me dropping again. Am I having a bad connection tonight? Let me check. Spell it off. No, we're good. We appear to be good. I'm paranoid now about whether or not I'm still connected. Spell it off. Yeah, we're connected. Flat pass left of Austin, Safari, and Jenkins. Guess right, but 11 on Whedon. The card is a short gain. He has it on 11 and not on the 3. 3 is actually plus 7 with the interception put on 10, but it's very low. 14-yard completion to Safari and Jenkins. And Joe's got a first down at the San Francisco 42. And it looks like Kurt Retzlaff checking in. Short pass to Allen Robinson. Defense double teaming elsewhere. 3 men there. Whedon under pressure and goes down with a sack as Carlos Dunlap, the left end for Ed, overcame Joe Reetz's blocking. That's a 5 out of 11 situation. 1-64 sack. And a big sack for Ed. Makes the 2nd and 19 midway through the second quarter. Joe Golden at his own 49. Kurt Retzlaff already in the SOMSFA Super Bowl. 10-6 club. So he's doing some scouting here on potential opponents because it will be one of these two teams. 2nd down and 19, 3 wide, 1 halfback for Joe. Ed goes dime 3-2-6, which is what he's done in passing situations. Short pass to Duke Johnson. And it picked off 2-4, 11 and 12, but it's complete for 12 yards down to the San Francisco 39. Ed was double teaming other players, so it was only 3 men in zone. He maybe even dropped the extra defensive back. I'm not quite certain. They missed it. But the bottom line is that it's a 12-yard pickup from Whedon to Duke Johnson. And it'll be 3rd and 7 for the Giants at the San Francisco 39. I don't think Joe's fared too well in 3rd and long. I think he may have only had 1 shot at it, perhaps. That was incomplete on the 3rd and long, and then he had to punt it before the 52-yard completion from Taylor to Rob Gronkowski. Short pass Allen Robinson. Defense double teaming elsewhere. Robinson covered by 5. Only 3 men in zone. Dump off is good for 7 yards and a first down to the Duke. I'm the Duke of New York. That's from Escape from New York. 1st and 10, Giants at the San Francisco 32. We are now officially midway through the second quarter. 7:30 to go. Giants have moved the ball pretty well. Only 3 points to show for it. Short pass Allen Robinson finally being double teamed. Receiver gets right incomplete. You see those alluring double teams on the receiver card. Infrequently hit. Would have been incomplete, I guess, right, but still. Always good to get those correct double teams. You know, they get inside the other coach's head a little bit if they start to become very frequent. 2nd and 10 for the Giants. Le'Veon Bell is back in the game. Last time he had 2nd and 10, he ran an end run that Ed guessed correctly. Flat pass left to Bell. Defense double teaming elsewhere. Bell covered by a 4. 4 linebacker in zones. This is a good chance to do something good, but no. Defender -3 on -1. And not only that, but the 4, Mark Barron makes the play, making it a 3rd and 13. I thought Barron was a 5. I just sent out an untrue trade offer in order to win, telling people that Barron was a 5 for the 2nd straight year. No, he was a 4 last year. He's even on my team. I don't know why I thought he was a 5. All right. Time to amend that, I guess. 3rd down and 13 for the Giants. They're at the San Fran 35. Does Joe play it safe to get in field goal range? Does he go for the first down? Ed's going dime 3-2-6. 3 wide, 1 halfback with Le'Veon Bell. Short pass Gary Barnes. He's covered by 4, and he has pretty good yardage, I think. But boxcars is incomplete on Brandon Whedon's card. And Joe's going to punt it. I guess he doesn't have a good long field goal chance here. This is probably going to be a touchback, and it is. So he gained 15 yards of field position to the ball. But if you don't have a good kicker, you really hate trying those very long field goals. And you give the guy the ball at his own 42. This guy's 2-6. That's a tough spot for Joe there. 1st and 10 for the Niners at their own 20. Off tackle left, Frank Gore guessed correctly. There's a man there. It's a 2-yard gain for Gore. So Ed's going to have 2nd and 8 at his own 22. 5:24 to go in the first half. 17-3 lead for the commissioner. Joe says, at least let me stop the bleeding. I'll tell you, Joe can get a stop here, get the ball back, drive again, and score, get it to start the 3rd quarter. That's how you got to think right now. I'm talking right to Frank Gore. Defense goes pass. Snake guys on Gore is a 25-yard gain. And it brings that up out to the 47. Gore's having a big game right now. 9 carries, 69 yards. Linebacker Frank Gore guessed correctly. 1 yard pickup. Makes it 2nd and 9. Ten carries, 70 yards for Frank the Tank here in the first half. Field that is on 48 now. 2nd and 9. Short pass, Travis Benjamin. 3 men there because Joe saw what happened last time that he kept giving Ed long pass chances. And receiver gets wrong as a 14-yard completion. Would have been incomplete with 4 men. Joe's like, well, what am I supposed to do here? The guy was killing me with back-to-back bombs. But definitely these draft league cards, the short pass 3-man and 4-man, I think is a pretty noticeable difference. And not just with the interceptions, but linebacker to Frank Gore. Defense gets his pass. 1 linebacker there. And it's a 5-yard gain on the defense on the 8, which would have been 8 yards, 9 yards with nobody there. It's inching towards field goal territory. He's in field goal territory, but you like to get further. 3 minutes to go. I mean, there's still a whole second half to play. Joe's going to get the kickoff, and long pass Travis Benjamin. Nobody there, but defense gets his pass, and 8 is incomplete on Taylor's card. Strat, like I've said, you can throw it so much more easily with these running quarterbacks. Look, he's looking at 2 and 12 complete, but they got 15 units of good must run. Right, I think 2 to 8 is 5 yards or more. So that's like that's like 13 units of 5 yards or more. So it's not a bomb, but it's a positive play, particularly when it's not 3rd and long, or 2nd and 19 or something. So, and that was like 2nd and 10, so 2nd and 5 actually. So we have 3rd down and 5 for Ed. 3. Now Ed tried to get a couple of yards. He stays in a running possible formation, blocking back 1 halfback pistol. To try a more likely field goal chance, secure the good range for Bailey. We'll go for the first down with Taylor. Joe goes nickel 3-3-5. Goes 3 runs, and he might just get the first down. Short pass, Rob Gronkowski. Defense gets his run. 3 men there. Gronk wide open again, or single coverage wide open. Single coverage again. Receiver gets wrong, incomplete. So that's the 4th time receiver card gets wrong in the first half. And the first one that he wasn't able to pull in, he had 2 short pass completions and a 52-yard long pass completion. He is 12-18 deep, and Ed's going to figure out what to do here on 4th and 5. He's going to try the 50-yard field goal. I think Bailey's 2 to 7 and 12 or something out there. He's pretty good. And he gets the positive yardage, and it's good. 2 to 9 and 12 there. So when you factor in the positive variable, so it's definitely more likely of a kick, which is part of why that's such a good rule that Strat created. And Bailey was 2 to 6, 11 and 12 otherwise, so probably more like a straight 2 to 7, maybe if you do the math. I've never done the math on that. I'm just guesstimating. I should probably do a little math on that. Short pass to Allen Robinson. Defense gets his pass, double teaming elsewhere. Or receiver gets right. It's incomplete for John Brown. Ed was in the nickel 3-3-5, I think then. And Joe's down 20 to 3, so he needs to get something going. Let me get down there. Let me kick a field goal or something. He goes 3 wide when halfback. I don't like that here. Allowing Ed to get into his nickel, unless you're going to try to hit these flats, then there is enough time to do that. He needs to get something going on this possession. Ed goes down at 3-2-6. Down there, kick a field goal, get the ball back, start the second half. See if you can get a touchdown drive together, and then bang, you're only down 20-13. Right now, we get some kind of score for the half. Short pass, Gary Barnage being double teamed successfully. Receiver gets right, it's incomplete. Would have been anyway. Would have maybe like to see Joe work the flats on those linebacker 4s with 2 minutes to go, and Whedon and a lot of compelling receiving targets. That play if it was to Barnage, I'm just saying. And a 3rd and 10, Joe goes into a running formation. It's not a running formation, but he goes away from the 3 wide set. It's 2 tights, 2 wides, and a running back. A formation with no white die penalty. A run normal formation? That's a boring phrase. I have to find a better phrase. But we've got 3rd and 10 for the Giants at their own 20. They have not moved the ball since this touchback after Ed's field goal. And Ed's back out in his dime, 3-2-6. Emmer left for Chris Johnson. Defense gets the pass. And 8 is a 6-yard gain on Johnson's card. Putting himself a little bit with field position and with the clock. Force Ed to call a timeout here. And with 2, I assume Ed will call timeout. Maybe not. Dennis has remarked that I am calling my timeouts a little early in the 2-minute situation on defense. And Ed lets the clock run down to 1:30. And Joe's going to go for it. 4th and 4. Oh, Joe. Oh, Joe. 4th and 4 from his own 26. He is down 20-3. I don't like this. Joe decided he didn't like it either. As he calls timeout and comes out the punt. It had to change of heart there. The punt goes 42 yards down inside the 28 for Travis Benjamin. It's all about the Benjamins. And he calls it a fair catch. He does have a touchdown on 2, and 6 is 22 yards. It was at his own 32, not his own 28, is a term that I use. I guess I was looking for a word for when the guy's been 3 wide and it's 3rd and 10, and now he goes into a formation that he can run from. This did happen to be his base formation, as I was reading Dennis's comment there. Eddie Thorhour is with us. That's Dan. Oh, that's Dan Warren. I'm not sure which one it is. I just see Dan in a black name there. 1st and 10 for at his own 32. 1:22 to go in the half. He leads 20-3 over the Giants. Well, to start the second half, but I'm playing some defense first. On tackle left, Antonio Andrews. No linebackers there. 8 with a box, I think, is in play. Defensive onside guard +7 and +2. That's Marshall Yanda. The best in the business, making the block. Yard gain. 2nd and 3, a minute left. Probably would hurry up there. Joe's in a nickel 3-3-5. Ed's got all 3 timeouts. Linebacker Antonio Andrews, no linebackers behind. So 7 and 8 in play. Well, 8 because it's a 3-4 defense, but the double box very much in play. And instead it's a center +10 or +2. And Ben Jones is only a 4, could not make the block. So it's only a 2-yard gain, creates a 3rd and 1. Is they going to call a timeout? Is he that confident in his 3rd and 1 abilities here in the final minute of the first half? Is he going to go hurry up? Is he just let the clock run? Not sure who Joe's punt returner is, but you're going to have to punt it either way. He goes hurry up, it looks like. A bit of a chance at maybe a long field goal if he can convert here. And he's going to come out blocking back again with Antonio Andrews. While the defense goes nickel 3-3-5. Ed's had Joe off balance this whole first half with Ed's offensive play call. A lot of catch for on calls for Joe. Off tackle right for Antonio Andrews. No linebackers there. And 7 is a 1-yard gain for Andrews, who has a good numbers on 3, 11, and 12. So there's something to hit there in the final minute. And then, of course, now calls timeout. He's at his own 42. With 2 timeouts and 30 seconds left, trying to manufacture a field goal opportunity. Bailey is, his normal range is the 33 to the 37. He has the normal range from deep. So you hate to target the 37. I know that's You only have 30 seconds left, but try to chalk it like the 34 or something because of the variable. The 35 maybe because the time is so bad. But so I mean, if I can get 21 to 23 yards in the next 3 plays, 22, 15, 8, maybe even 4 plays, depending on the clock, then he'll be in field goal range. So he can still run the ball. Watch the end run for Taylor. Instead, it's an off tackle left to Frank Gore. And Joe's the nickel 3-3-5, offensive onside tackle 8-3, and Taylor Lewan, the former first-round pick, both in the NFL and in SOMSFA and presumably in SOMSFA, makes the block. He should be a 6'7" extra, I believe. I forget what he is in the set, maybe a 5'7", but I think he's a 6'7". But a second down and 2, as Ed calls his second timeout, he's now at the 50. Well, he needs 13 yards to get to the 2 to 6, 11, and 12 range. Probably targeting at least 15 yards, though. I'd like to get to the 30, 35 at a minimum if you can, and not get doomed by the negative variable. I think you go back as much as 4 yards, but that's on like a 12 or something. So, ideally, get to the 32. The closer, the better, right? And when I left Antonio Andrews, not using one on Taylor. Didn't want to hit with the loss of yards on right. I can't imagine Andrews is too good. Guess right. This is a guess wrong. An offensive onside tackle 5-0 is no gain, as Luan could not make the block that time. A 5 against a 6. And Ed will have 3rd and 2 from the 50. Joe put linebackers on the inside that time and called pass. And it's blocking back. I'm going to share my screen now. Yes, I am. Okay. Blocking back with Ed. Emmer left to Tyrod Taylor. There it is. Guess wrong. This could be nice for Ed. Offensive onside M +9 or +4. It's going to be a 9-yard gain. First down to the 41, and Taylor got out of bounds. 3 carries, 23 yards. He had 8 seconds left. He needs to get at least 4 yards on this play to set up a 2 to 6, 11, and 12 field goal chance for Bailey. Ideally, look, the more yards, the better. So ideally, you get 9 yards, get you down to the 32. A short pass might be a decent play here, but if you miss it, you don't get anything. Maybe another end run for Taylor, I think, might be the play. I don't think Joe's going to call run here. He doesn't need 4 yards, so maybe Joe will call run. Joe's called some run. Tough call. Maybe short pass. Short pass to Gronk. He's getting double teamed. Maybe to Baldwin because maxed out. Even though he's coming by 6, probably won't be double teamed. How about a short pass to Baldwin? Or to Benjamin, he's just not even that good. Probably don't double team him. Off tackle right to Gore. Double team is Gronk. The linebacker's there. And really wants at least 4 yards here. He'd love to get 9 or more. And 8 on the defense card is 21 yards because Joe was double teamed with the side linebacker, so he gets 11 yards in the box. And Ed's got a first and 10 at the 20-yard line. Now this is a 2 to 10 field goal to try to take a 23-3 lead, a 3-touchdown lead. And really now there's no. Joe said he feels like an old fiddle because I think what he means is that he's getting played. I think that's the line there. Play like a fiddle. And the kick is up and good, 23-3. And as we go to halftime, Ed needs a 2-minute break. Joe very graciously says good half. Ed had a great offensive half that half in terms of the play calling. And look, it seemed like Joe was wrong almost every play, including long passes with nobody in zone on 2 straight plays, and guessing pass when Gore was running, guessing run when Ed was throwing short. Ed was taking advantage of that with receiver readings on Gronk and Baldwin. Joe had to settle for a field goal on his first drive and had one of the good drive that stalled in no man's land and didn't do much on the other 2. I mean, I don't think Ed has really been stopped here today. I think Ed has an early SOMSFA championship, but I'm not positive. Dennis could maybe type that in, let me know. But touchdown, field goal for Ed. Field goal, punt for Joe. So you know who's winning when you see that ball possession chart. And you're down 3 touchdowns. And we talked about this the other night after Dennis's game. I think after Dennis's SSFA game against who? Against someone who tied that game up against Jay Villing. And we talked about not trying to get too down about adversity and this and that. But and you never want to get too down, right? But it is 23-3. You're down by 20. You're about to get the kickoff. So you know you got your work cut out for you. So you should get a little down now. Absolutely. You know, oh man, this sucks. You know, I'm 14-2. My defense plays good all year. I know how good Ed is. But Jesus, 23-3. But as Joe said, he feels like an old fiddle. Ed's doing a great job against him. He's got him off balance on defense. But okay, now what do I do? Because there's still 30 minutes to play. I still got to do some clicking here. I may as well make it worthwhile. So look, Joe's gonna he's gonna receive the kickoff. Just try and put together one drive. That's where it starts. Put together one drive. Don't panic. You know, so many times I feel like it's the same mentality. I need to score and to stop. That's what I need. So give me a touchdown to get to 23-10. Give me a stop, and he's got to punt it. And then all of a sudden, he's thinking a little differently. If all of a sudden my opponent's like, it's 23-10, but if he scores here, it's 23-17. That's what you want. You don't want your opponent sitting there like, I'm feeling good. You want him to be a little nervous and let it affect his play calling a little bit, and let him, let the tables be turned a little bit. Because look, when you're up 23-3, what's going through your head? Oh boy, don't blow this. Don't screw it up. How can I not screw this up? You don't want to play it too safe. You don't want to play it too conservative, but you don't want to be foolishly aggressive. So it's hard. A lot of guys will say, I'm just going to keep playing my game. I'm still going to play. If I think the guy's going to call run and I think a bomb is my best play, I'm still going to throw a bomb. Other guys are going to say, screw that. I'm a good defensive coach. I got a good defense. Things are going my way. I'm going to really run him flat and maybe throw short. I'm not even going to flat if I think there's going to be 2 guys there. But anyway, so we'll see how Ed plays it. But there's too much football left to go into a shell, that's for sure. Especially in the modern game and the modern rule set and the dump off. And you got Joe Gold on the other side, he's an excellent coach. You got Allen Robinson here, you got Le'Veon Bell, you got Gary Barnage. Whedon's got a capable card. Turnovers always come into play. You can turn the ball over, so you can't go into a shell. It's way too early. Maybe if it was like 8 minutes to go in the game. Yeah, sure. Run, punt. Short pass to Austin, Safarian Jenkins. Defense double teaming elsewhere after the touchback. As we start in the second half, dump off for 7 yards. As Joe Golden is looking to mount a comeback effort here. And and again, people talk about not getting up in the run. Don't give up in the run. Don't give up in the flat pass. Joe's been a little too intimidated by this 3-4. I've not seen flat passes very much to these outside spots. And that's allowed Ed to bring linebackers up. He's been double teamed with linebackers. Short pass Allen Robinson being double teamed by the safety. And that's incomplete. A Whedon's card that was on 2nd and 3. I had that same combo, Whedon and Robinson. And you throw the short passes to Robinson because you can't throw any long passes with Whedon, really. You can throw them. You can watch them flail away. But it's just not a usually good completion. This is a flat pass to John Brown, as I called it, but Ed double teamed it. Thanks, Ed. So it's incomplete. That was a wide die 6. That would have been a short gain. And now Joe, instead of putting together a good drive, just start the second half, is going 3 and out. So look, still 13:40 to go. You still got to play. Maybe I'll fumble this. Maybe I'll go 3 now. Maybe you get a good return. 49 yards down to the 24. We've seen all kinds of crazy stuff in Strat-O-Matic. So 4-yard gain for return for Benjamin. And now it's 1st and 10 for Ed at his own 28. Joe Golden trying to break through into one of these championship games. He's been to 3 Battle Royale or Summer Sprint championships, but he's not won there yet. Off tackle right to Frank Gore, gets a pass. Nose tackle +4/+9. It's a 4-yard gain. Benny Logan makes the play. It's a 5 against a White Die 4. Gore's got 108 yards now and 14 carries. That 21-yard run right before the half really helped him out in that category. It was the 11-yarder with the box. And that can happen. Joe Colton's an excellent coach. He's only been on line a couple of years, as far as I know. And I think this is his first real good keeper team. He's been playing for the future more. And he's going to get there. And Joe lives in New Jersey. I live in New York. And he has to take a minute here. His daughter was on the highway in a bad downpour. It was heavy. There was heavy rain here this morning. And Joe's home, so you can pretend that there's, lightning crackling over MetLife Stadium in the swamps of New Jersey in the Meadowlands. But, Joe's just getting, a guy like Joe, you see a guy like Joe having all this success, Royale or Summer Sprint Super Bowls. He didn't win any of them, but he made them there with good teams, and he's a good coach. Just lost a very close semifinal to Dennis in my diehard football league, which was a mini league, admittedly only 9 teams, but still some good coaches in there. I didn't make the playoffs in that league. Good job, maybe starting league and not even making the playoffs, 3-5. And she was texting a lot. Now it's all good. So hopefully Joe's daughter will be home soon, safe and sound and dry, assuming she's heading home, wherever her destination is. 2nd and 6 for the Niners at their own 32. Flat pass left, Bruce Miller. Linebacker 5 on the outside. Defense calls pass. Defender -4, -2. And Joe finally gets a nice roll there. As Jamie Collins, the now Cleveland Brown, is a 6 to outside. And he stuffs Bruce Miller for a 4-yard loss. No wonder we have not seen Bruce Miller. He only actually has 4 catches, but those blocking back and fullbacks get a lot of dump ball receptions. Be aware of that when you see those big numbers for those guys. 3rd and 10 for the Niners at their own 28. Joe really, really needs to stop now. Long pass, Rob Gronkowski. Nobody there. Defense gets the pass. Gronk covered by a 5. The must run is dangerous here on a 2-6. Must run 6, 11 yards and a first down. Even if 3rd and 10, you can throw the bomb with these running quarterbacks. I love the running quarterbacks. Some guys are like, they're not as effective as they are in real life. I don't know what they're talking about. My only SSFA title was with Michael Vick. I couldn't win it with Peyton Manning. 1st and 10 for the Niners at their own 39, 23-3. So my point is, Joe Golden will, he'll get championships, I believe. And they're there for him. He's not doing anything wrong. He's just not getting the favorable outcomes in this semifinal so far, and in those Battle Royale leagues. So just make sure that Julia knows your ring size, Joe. You'll get the rings. They'll be coming. 2nd and 2 for the Niners at their own 47. Frank Gore, 15 carries, 116 yards. Its offense is unstoppable here. But Joe's been wrong with every play. Everyone left in 20 Andrews. He's right on that one. He won a 1-2-3 there. Defensive end +11 to +47. And Ed Cedric Thornton makes the play. So it's only an 11-yard gain. It's some solace, I suppose. But you hate when a guy makes a play in the running game and you still give up 11 yards. So who created these cards anyway? Oh, that's right, Ed did. Short pass to Travis Benjamin is being double teamed, and it's incomplete. We've got a 2nd down and 10. Joe's down 20 right now, so seriously, he has to stop Ed right here. Don't even allow a first down, because you don't want to see the guy go up by 23. Now it's not 3 natural touchdowns. Now you're going to involve multiple 2-point conversions to tie. Linebacker Frank Gore in 2nd and 10. Defense gets his passes. A linebacker there. Frank's been hot today. Nose tackle +2 or +5. But Benny Logan cools him down a little bit there with the tackle and the stop for only a 2-yard gain. 3rd and 8. Now, if Egg sneaks in past the 38, sneaks into the 37, will he try a long field goal by 20 points here? I don't think so. I don't think that's his cup of tea. Short pass Doug Baldwin on 3rd and 8. No double teaming. Must run very much in play. That could help set up a field goal opportunity. I guess right, incomplete, even on the maxed out Baldwin. Because guess right, it's 22-30. And Pat McAfee, I've not seen him today. He has a good punting coach. There's a good chance this goes in the end zone. Comes out for the corner for the 40. And it is into the end zone for a touchback. Still the right call. We're up by 3 touchdowns. And 9 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. And Joe comes out in his base set. How many carries does Le'Veon Bell have left? Linebacker Le'Veon Bell. Good blocking there. Oh, the dreaded 5 gets wrong. Look at this nice linebacker wrong card. Positive yardage and a couple of decent runs on the edges. Then they got 6-6-5. But you're playing a 3-4. It's going to bring a guy up there. Maybe you run a draw play. It's got the nose tackle 6 that he was talking about in that thread on what positions are the most valuable. One pass, Allen Robinson, defense double team correctly. Receiver gets right, incomplete. 7 was complete for 28 yards. But 6 was incomplete, right, wrong, and double teamed. And if it was guessed wrong, that just gets you angry. Receiver guessed wrong. And it's incomplete. Joe's probably wondering who his backup quarterback is right now. Look, you went 14-2 with Brandon Whedon. Come on, you can't. I literally can't throw a long pass. Well, not literally, but you know what I mean. 3rd and 10 for the Giants. They're on 20. 8:06 to go. Amari Cooper is the 3rd receiver on this team, which is good because Robinson had a down year next year. And John Brown might have had a down year too. I don't know if he was injured or not as effective. Trip pass to Amari Cooper. Ed with the vaunted triple-double. But it's complete at Whedon's card. Right, wrong, double teamed. Will Ed be able to do that next year? There was a thread up on the SOMSFA forum right now about the triple-double. Will it be outlawed? Except in certain situations. Linebacker Le'Veon Bell, but no draw play. I think game's only 5 yards. Draw play would have gained 19. Don't let Ed sit there and call pass from his 3-4 and put a linebacker up there. I know you don't want to get gouged on the draw. Nothing wrong with an occasional draw in this situation, certainly. You wanted to call a run. Maybe then you hit him with a short pass to Robinson or a flat pass gets wrong for 10 yards. Joe still in his own end of the field, though. Off tackle wrong. Le'Veon Bell, short game, 1st down. 8 carries, 72 yards. Joe's saying, well, might as well not save those carries. They need some points here. Let me get Bell going. We only got 6 carries left. 8 for 72. The evening. Yes, it is the evening. 8:05 on the East Coast. And Giants and the San Francisco 49. Flat pass right to Jenkins. Finally seeing some flat pass action. Defender X +2 or +8. It's an 8-yard gain. Mario Edwards couldn't make the play. Injured, I think, next year. I might have got a card anyway, but not a good rating. I don't remember. Interesting young player. 2nd and 2 for the Giants at the 9:41. CJ 2K checks in. Joe could use a hefty chunk of that 2K right now. 41 yards worth, he would be happy with. I don't think he'd complain with 40 either. 23-3. This game is still a game. Short pass Lance Kendricks. Defense double teaming elsewhere. Dump off for 7 yards and a 1st down at 2nd and 2. I do not see Carlos Dunlap's number come up again. And Joe's got the nice 7s on the left side, 5s at center, right guard, and right tackle. Short pass Gary Barnage. Defense double teaming elsewhere. I like it. Maybe another dump off. Defender X a short game. He needs this one, but it's incomplete. 4 and a 4. Play. Who's that guy? Was it Ray Parker Jr.? He's the Ghostbusters guy. 2nd down and 10 for the Giants. Sure really needed that one. Short pass John Brown. Now he's got Ed off balance with the double teams. Ed's double teaming the wrong guy on every play, but receiver gets right. It's incomplete to Brown, who has got 6'10", 14, 16, 17. What is that? Looks like a 1926 card. 3, 13, 2. I better count the completions. I tried to count the incompletions and subtract. It's a little more complicated, so I just added the completions. Joe's got 3rd and 10 now at the San Fran 34. He's down by 20, 4:30 to go, late third quarter. A huge play in the comeback bid. Now it ends in a dime 3-2-6. Dennis might be thinking draw, but I think you stay 2 tight end if you want to give that some real consideration. Could be an effect. The old looking pass, because I know the other guy knows I might throw looking. Flat pass left to Bell. I like the call, actually. Picked off 2 to 4, 11 and 12. Picked off on the defense caught in a flat pass. Oh, it's terrible. Please don't run it back. Oh, my goodness. 2, 3, 9, and 12 is a touchdown. And no, it's only a 4-yard gain. Picked off 2 to 4, 11 and 12. And he rolls it. So he doesn't get a chance to try the long field goal or go for 4th and 9 or keep Slim hopes alive. Strat guy just gave Joe a quick kick to the gut there. And I really put him behind the 8 ball. Linebacker to Frank Gore. Defense gets his pass. The linebacker is there. Frank's having a great game. He gets a dreaded 5. Making it 2nd down and 10. And our crack research team from the West Coast tells us that NFL did win the SOMSFA title, possibly in the first year. Maybe as a result of all that parody that I keep giving Ed a hard time on. Short pass Doug Baldwin. Defense double teaming elsewhere on 2nd and 10. Defender extra plus 12. He's coming by a 6, though. That's Darius Slay. 3rd and 10. So Joe needs to get a stop here, and he's still not out of it. Got to stop here. You need 3 touchdowns. Go 3 touchdowns from the late third quarter to the end of the game? Absolutely. Can he shut the other guy out from the late third quarter to the end of the game? Harder, but absolutely. Looking past Bruce Miller, nobody there. He's shadowing Tyrod Taylor. It's going to be a first down, probably. No, 5 incomplete on Tyrod Taylor's card. Passing 5. So usually it's in the running game. But now it has to punt. Pat McAfee's got good yardage on the punting card. This is the first time we'll see a returner. It's the Otis McKelvin, who I think has a touchdown or 2. No, that was in previous sets. But this is an 8-yard gain. The opponent punt return +8, +13 long game for Ed has not been a factor because Ed has only had to punt twice, and the first was a coffin corner, I believe. I think he's only had to punt twice. So Joe's got another shot. Short pass John Brown. Defense guessing pass. Double teaming elsewhere. Incomplete Whedon's card. But now everything's got to go right. Every drive has got to be crisp. Can't have a lot of wasted time. Making a dump off for 30 yards would be nice. Give me something. Give me a chance here. You just screwed me on the other thing. Long pass to Allen Robinson. Nobody there. Must run for Whedon. Takes off and gains 8 yards. And Whedon's got a very good must run card. 2 to 10 to 6 yards or more. 10 yards or more, which is weird. He only has 7 units of it, though. So his long pass right is not as appealing as a Tyrod Taylor or a Russell Wilson. Well, Russell gets more than 2 units of completion, but theoretically, if Russell only had 2 units of completion. Maybe Colin Kaepernick would be a better example. Good luck to him getting back into the NFL. 3rd and 2 for the Giants. Long pass to Gary Barnage. Even double teaming elsewhere. Barnage covered by a 4. Gets a dump off from -2. Are you serious? I'm like, come on. I had 3rd and 2. At least give me 4th and 2 to go for it, down by 3 touchdowns. But no, I got the dump off for a loss of 2. 4th and 4. I don't know what Joe Golden did, Joe, but you really pissed off the Strat God somehow here. Not to say this is a complete dicing, because Ed's first half offensive play calling has been excellent. He's had Joe off balance on that side of the field the whole game. But now the Strat Gods in the second half have just been cruel to Joe. Kind of, yeah, let's get a little close. We'll let you think you have a little hope. They'll give you a nice kick right to the solar plexus. So Joe's going to go for it here, which I don't blame him for because, things are going against him. Punt and lose, go for it, have a chance. Goes 3 wide when halfback. Would have preferred to see the running game kept in play. Down 3-2-6. I think we'll see a flat pass to the outside. Who do you throw to? Ed wants to double team everybody. Probably John Brown. Maybe it counters that, but it's a short pass to Amari Cooper. 3-minute zone. Covered by 4, who is dropped back to the long pass, and Joe gets sacked. Carlos Dunlap. Ouch. So this game has got all Ed's way, and despite my pleas for optimism, And Joe has to say, okay, great. Unless I get a turnover here, the game is over in about 2.5 real-life minutes here. And Antonio Andrews checks in, presumably has a low fumble number. Save some of those Frank Gore carries. 54 seconds to go in the third quarter. It's been a game. We thought we were going to have a real close game. You have 13-3, 14-2. You got two excellent coaches. Off tackle left, Antonio Andrews. The linebackers there. 8 is in play in the defense. 7 is a 1-yard gain for Antonio Andrews. 6 carries, 22 yards. And soon it will be filler time, not Miller time, but filler time. And then let's fill the dead space of a one-sided game with anecdotes and maybe discussion of some off-season stuff. As one day, eventually, Strat will release the Strat file. Off tackle right to Frank Gore. It's a 5-yard gain. For me, that the Strat file is not available, because if it is, I'll just stop broadcasting. Then I'll go download it. Strat-O-Matic earlier today is where we got Ed's got a 3rd and 4 at the Giant 15. He's up 23-3. We just started the fourth quarter. Frank Gore 18 carries, 123 yards. Nothing against Kurt. I need to look at the matchups, but you'd have to like Ed's team as the favorite in the Super Bowl. Off tackle left to Frank Gore. Defense calling run. 8 of the defense is like 4 times. It's 11 yards and a first down for Ed. Down at the New York Giant 4. Last time Ed was down here was, I think, early in the first quarter. And it was like linebook touchdown. Joe's got inside linebacker 4s. At the 4-yard line. With the full house, you go 5-5-6, right to left. Left to right, so people are probably confused by me doing the right to left there. And there it is. Linebacker Antonio Andrews, defensive onside center, is a 5 with the bump. That's Ben Jones. Touchdown, Ed. 29-3. You could go for 2 here to make it 31-3. But then Joe, if you miss it, Joe can go 26, which is a field goal, 3 touchdowns, 2 2-point conversions. You should still think of those things because crazy things can happen. And that's like the highlight of the game for Joe is Taiwan Jones returns the kick 34 yards from the end zone. Looking good doing it. And Jersey Joe Golden had a tremendous season with 14-2. Made the semifinals in a very competitive league. Had to play Ed, and Ed just had a great first half. I mean, Joe would say, Ed just had him off balance. Joe did, every play was. Every play was not every play, but seemingly every play was guessed wrong. Ed was passing when Joe was calling run, Ed was running when Joe was calling pass. Ed threw a couple of bombs, long pass, no men. So, when that happens, you just say, man, this guy just, he just got me off balance right now. And you hope it doesn't last too long. And in Joe's case, it lasted a half. And by the time he looked up, it was 23-3. And then he got some bad breaks in the second half. When he was trying to get back into it. Factor, and he had to go for a 4th and 4 from his own 26. Didn't make it. And took over. And scored what was probably the clinching touchdown. As now it's 30-3. So Strat normally releases the player preview ratings. The ratings preview. Offense Allen Robinson, defensive back in zone. Will Allen makes a nice play. Strat normally releases the ratings preview after the 4th of July, but this year if Dennis and I made significant entreaties to Glenn Guzzle last year on the air. And I think Dennis Steve maybe even emailed Glenn shortly after that. We asked if they could please somehow find a way to release the ratings preview on the last business day before July 4th. And this year that was June 30th, and they did it. That is amazing. And so that was a great treat. And I think Dennis has said that normally the ratings file comes out 2 weeks after the preview. But if they're going to release the preview right before the 4th of July weekend, no one is doing any work, hopefully, over the 4th of July weekend. So let's say that like July 6th was the first day of business. So we'd say, well, maybe it's going to be 2 weeks from then. Well, that would have been July 20th. And this Thursday would be July 27th, which would be 3 weeks. I think Dennis may have said 2 or 3 weeks in the past. So we love Strat-O-Matic, but we love our ratings file equally. And we certainly are anticipating it and looking forward to it. And where the hell is it? Kane submitted it sometime in the past. I called Strat-O-Matic early this afternoon, got someone on the phone. Sounded like the same gentleman I got on the phone early last week. I called last Monday as well. And I said, hey, that ratings file will be available for download. He said, probably by the end of the week. Didn't really sound encouraging. I can tell you that much. It sounded like he was saying, to be honest, I have no idea this week. But if I tell you next week, I know you'll groan. So I'll tell you probably by the end of this week. So we'll be checking. We'll be refreshing. We'll be double and maybe even triple clicking. Oh, Derek Carr's in the game. Hello, Derek. 6 and 7 for 26 yards. This Derek Carr card is not that bad. Dennis did well with it on a rebuilding team in one of his leagues. But as Derek Carr is now off the field, Joe goes for it. I was actually saying that earlier, Joe. I want to look on the bench, see who the backup quarterback is, but he's getting Derek Carr some much-needed playoff experience in advance, in anticipation of future seasons. Carl Le'Veon Bell for next year's club. That's a pretty nice start, right? I have to see what the rest of the team looks like. I don't think Joe made a ton of moves for this year, actually. So, and he had been building for the future with all of his teams. So he might be in pretty good shape. And I think Joe is now in all 3 leagues. Is that right, Dennis? Is Dennis there, or is he might be preparing dinner at this time? As a matter of fact, he's also left the broadcast, which I don't blame him for doing because it is 30-3. I don't know if anyone's listening. Yes, I do. I can just click and see it. We have Dan's here. Dan Thorauer. So maybe it is a good time to look at the Strat forum. And I'm pretty sure that when I click, it's going to tell me that the ratings file is out. No. It says nothing of the sort. We can read about Bloomberg bust running backs. Mike Kane says without giving too much away, a ratings guide, Ezekiel Elliott is the 3rd best card in the set. Get a little sneak preview from Mike Kane. Thank you, Mike. Who would the first 2 be? This game is still 30-3, 6 minutes to go, so perhaps a good time to give you some more interesting broadcasting. Might Jordan Howard have a better card than Ezekiel Elliott? That'll be interesting. Good. I was going to say Zach Wheeler goes on the disabled list for the Mets. Mike Tyson saying that it's his opinion that Conor McGregor is going to get killed, quote unquote, going to get killed boxing. That's a possibility. Now, it could be some of the lower average guys. A lot of LaShawn McCoy, of course. 4:12 to go in this game. Oops, wrong window. LaShawn McCoy, 1267 at 5.4. Guard. Who else we got? Well, I mentioned Jordan Howard, who the Thrills and Chills spoke highly of, is also playing alongside a bad quarterback. Bilal Powell might have a real good card. Playing with the horrible Jets quarterbacks at a 5.5 average. Mike Gillisley on Buffalo at 5.7 average. 7 carries of 20 yards or more, 101 attempts. He might be real chunky, but also had such a big average, it might not matter. So I guess those could be candidates to be ahead of Elliott. Jordan Howard, LaShawn McCoy, Mike Gillisley, and Bilal Powell. I go with those 4. I think Jalen Richards is going to be too chunky with 5 20-yard runs and 83 attempts. And a good passing game. So I'll go with one of those 4. That's right off the bat. I haven't looked at the 2-minute warning, by the way. I haven't looked at the rest of the guys. I had a hard time thinking that somebody even lower than that had a better card. Ty Montgomery had the 5.9 average, but he's got Aaron Rodgers. Blake Bortles is, of course, we have Tyreek Hill. He might get a ridiculous running card. That could be. He's got to be a 5th candidate. I'll go with 5 candidates to possibly be better. Well, 5 is a lot. Okay, Tom, you're guessing everybody. I should limit myself to 4, but so here's an interception there about a minute ago, and Ed's going to take a couple of these to run out the clock from here. As NFL led 13-3 regular season, was red hot in the first half, and Joe had some bad luck, especially early in the third quarter, or throughout the third quarter, really, to thwart any comeback attempt. And the commissioner, Ed Burrow, was going to return to a Super Bowl game. He was in the SOMSFA final this past season and lost to Jay Villing. And he's going to try to win his 2nd SOMSFA title. I don't know who has the other one. So Dennis has got 2. I've got 1. Ed's got 1. That's 4. Is that it? Is this the 5th year of this league? I don't recall. But it's going to be the commissioner, Ed Burrow, against Kurt Retzlaff's upstart, 10-6, Arizona Cardinals. But make no doubt about it, that's not a bad team. You know, I remember when they faced Dennis 16-0. He looked at the personnel and said, "This is really not versus 10-6. You know, personnel differential. If anything, these teams might have been a game apart, talent-wise. So, and Ed's team is good, but also maybe not dominant talent-wise. So maybe Kirk can pull off another upset, pull home the SOMSFA title. We'll see. But I'm going to wrap this one up. I got some other stuff I'm working on. I was doing tight end research for the fall drafts. And we'll see what happens. We got a game Wednesday night, an SSFA playoff game. That is another semifinal, and it also involves Ed. It's San Francisco, New Orleans. So, and trying to make 2 Super Bowls here in the fall, spring. I don't know, now in the middle of the summer, July 24th, but in the spring/summer leagues. And the winner of that game is going to face Dennis Crowley. No big surprise. You see a lot of the same coaches making these semifinals and these final games in all these leagues. because they're such good coaches. Dennis is, of course, foremost among them, or in that group. That's foremost among the rest of us, I would say. And Ed, of course, is there too. So we'll see what happens. I'm looking forward to that. Wednesday night, 7:15 Eastern, San Francisco, New Orleans. Congratulations to Ed to make another final. All right, guys. Have a good night.